Polgar. Judit, thank you so much for your time. I could spend 60 minutes just reading your accomplishments. You were born in Budapest, Hungary. You've held the number one position from 1989 for 26 years. That's 1,360 weeks or 9,552 days. You were the first woman to compete against many of the male competitors. You have a number of world championships, as well as the youngest grandmaster that you achieved at 15 and a half years old. So what I'd like to do is, if you can take me back, and I was fascinated by your Netflix documentary, and specifically your father, who I believe was a very huge influencer, not only for the family, but for your two sisters. And what really struck me is trying to think outside the box, reading approximately 2,000 biographies and autobiographies of the greatest minds across a variety of different disciplines. And he came up with that system to create for you and your sisters, and he chose chess, or maybe you chose chess at around 5. Can you take us through that journey of that experiment and your commitment to excellence? And as I recall from reading about you and seeing the Netflix documentary, you spent 12, 14, 16 hours a day playing and drilling chess. Can you walk us through, as I call it, the grand experiment and how that worked for you, please?
Well, it's a big question, many questions immediately. I grew up in a very special family. My parents, my father had the first thought that once he's going to get married, then he wants to be focusing on one specific field, and he wants his daughters or sons, children, go not to go to school but being homeschooled. And then he found my mom, and so there became my father's idea, and my mother was supporting him in every way. And I have two sisters. Susan, 7 years older than I am, and she was the first one who started to be very good in mathematics and in chess when she was 4 years old. And then my father thought, okay, it's about time to make a decision which one is going to be. And it was chess, because chess is something which is much more measurable. And then she was playing very well. And then my other sister, the middle sister, she's a year and a half older than I am. So by the time I